Hello again, small scale modelers. We have another mix of interesting vehicles today. Today we have some regular civilian cars, we have some transporters, construction vehicles, and then two flying objects. Okay, today we are starting off with the Cord 810, a classic American car. Yeah, it's a cool looking car with the pontoon fenders and all that stuff. And for scale reference, we have a classic Range Rover on a US penny. Alright, let me get these out of the way. We have another classic car, the good old 1969 muscle car here, the Dodge Challenger RT version, actually. Alright, I actually modeled this in order to make the next vehicle, which you can probably guess is the General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard. So this one has the bull guard on the front. Didn't paint the front or the rear, so it's too small. I couldn't even really get the black in the windows very well. Small scale, of course, you know. Another classic car I really like is the Datsun 510, or the Nissan Bluebird if you live in Japan. Alright. Next car today is actually a limousine. Good old Mercedes-Benz Pullman 600. Nice classic limo. Yeah, a lot of dictators and politicians and wealthy people drove these around, celebrities, all that stuff. Here's the next a very random one from an old movie. The movie is called Animal House, and it's about fraternity kids having a good time. They made this thing called the Deathmobile to run in the parade, I guess. And it's an old Lincoln Continental, but they put a giant turret on it, and it steams smoke and all that stuff. And yeah, it's such a wacky vehicle. I decided to make a model of it. Another classic JDM car is the AE86 Toyota Corolla Trueno, the initial D car, the tofu delivery vehicle. Unfortunately, I have a really hard time sharpening those little windows. Did not do a good job at all, but you know, at larger scales it would be obviously a lot easier, but at this scale, not so easy. Last, I guess, smaller vehicle is a good old Tesla Cybertruck. Even though this doesn't actually exist yet, figured I'd model it. It's so geometric in its shaping that I thought it was interesting. Alright, let's move on to some transporters here. Let's see. Well, okay, a classic one if you like race cars. This is called a Fiat Bartoletti transporter. This kind of vehicle would have been used to transport the 1960s Ferraris and Alfa Romeos and stuff to and from the races. So, very neat. More modern transporter. No, actually, no. It's still a classic transporter. No, sorry, I have it out of order. This one. This is a Mercedes-Benz LP608 flatbed. So the front end could have been, universal, but sometimes they'd have a dump truck in the back. But I wanted a transporter because I want to put some cars on them, right? In fact, this is from, like, say, the 60s or something. I don't know if it really is, but I'm going to put this charger on this guy. I'm going to bring the Bartoletti back, and I guess the Cord 810 would have been a car from that era. Yeah, so there are some miniature transporters. I actually have two more, so I might as well just put it up here. This is an Isuzu transporter, the NPR 4-ton flatbed wrecker. Let's see, maybe we get the Trueno on this guy, since it's Japanese also. And the last transporter is a Peterbilt 348, and so that's got a double cab, and obviously it's a big transporter, so let's get that limousine on here. Nope, too long, but maybe the Tesla truck will get on there. change these so you can actually see. So small. I'll let that go for a revolution. Alright, let's start getting these guys out of here. I'm gonna have to just rearrange them later. Let's get those out of the shot. This next one is a strange color choice. This is a Mac Anthem sleeper cab from 2018, and I just painted the trailer totally different because I have it so my trailers can, fit with different semi-tractors. So I've got two other trailers here. I got this bulk cement trailer. It's supposed to be 12.5 meters long. And then I also have this angled hopper trailer. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. Okay, let's move on to some construction vehicles. So this guy here, I believe is from Russia, with love. It's called a Moaz 546P. And this tractor is a scraper, so moves forward, and this thing in the back scrapes the ground like a grater, so it helps smooth out the surface, probably before they have to pave the road. But I also read that this sort of thing could have also been used by the military to help set up ballistic missiles. I don't know how that would happen, but I think primarily it's a construction vehicle to grade surfaces. So it's pretty big, obviously, next to that Range Rover there. But it's not the biggest one. Today we also have this RKM Slag pot carrier. I think this might be a Chinese design, but I might be mistaken. So during the refining process of many metals or whatever substances they're trying to take from the earth to make into alloys, so they have to melt them down, and something forms called slag. And slag is just a waste product of the refining process. So this thing takes that slag, puts them in this giant pot in the back, and then this thing drives out and dumps it somewhere. So naturally it's a huge vehicle because the world consumes a lot of metals, right? So the refining process is extensive. So the tractor itself is this front end with the engine and motor. It pulls this back end thing, and then this back end thing backs up and tips it into the the dump. Unfortunately, I didn't make the bucket separate. It would have been too difficult. Okay, last construction vehicle is a Caterpillar dump truck. Oh, gotta change the angle here. So this dump truck is called the 797B. I believe it might be one of the more recent dump trucks by these guys. And so it's pretty big, but it's definitely not the largest dump truck for sure. If you're interested, maybe write a comment and I'll do a video on all of my dump trucks later. So this one, yeah, obviously I have it so it can tilt and all that stuff. Okay. So let's move into the last two vehicles that are flying objects. This first one you might recognize from movies, or this is a Predator drone. So an unmanned aerial vehicle. I guess it's called an MQ-1, RQ-1, one or the other. I don't know what that acronym means, but I know it's a Predator drone, so it's been in some movies and all that stuff. So it's quite a big drone, but it's not the largest drone. Okay, so this is just like a pushpin needle that I crazy glued to a piece of plastic, and then my design has a little hole in the bottom of it if you want to have it, because it doesn't have any landing gear in my model. It'd be too fragile. Okay, this last one here is a concept vehicle or sci-fi, I don't know what you call it, but it's rooted into Adolf Hitler in World War II. This is called the Haunebu 2 UFO, and supposedly in World War II, Hitler's group of Nazis were researching UFO technology. This is all kind of like that ancient aliens kind of stuff. I don't know. And obviously, well, I don't think this ever became reality, but a bunch of people have made models out of these and drawings and renderings and stuff like that, so I thought I would do that as well. So I have this thing, so it's modeled to be 23 meters in diameter. I don't know if this thing is just, since it may have never existed, who knows if that's right? All I know is it's a lot bigger than this Range Rover spinning outside. I have the turret, so it's actually separable. I want to hollow out my objects if I can, so they can save on print costs. And then obviously you can pose the thing where you want. And actually I'll show you the bottom as well. Let's get this out here. So it has a bunch of turrets and stuff like that, and then 4 landing gear with 3 tires on each. And I'm assuming those turrets would move around and all that stuff. And then I have a giant peg hole here if you want to put it on a stand and have it flying, although the landing gear are down. So that's what's up with that. Let me rearrange all these things so you can see them all at once. Alright, hopefully you enjoyed this mix of scale vehicles. I do 1/400, but on Shapeways you can pick other larger sizes if that would suit you, but they'll cost more. Okay, so hopefully you'll stay tuned. I have another mix coming up later on. Thanks.